Coming up today on Pawsitive Entertainment, pets and their people you're going to recognize, plus a horse that works like a dog, and Vet Check is all about the feline persuasion.
The SPCA of Texas presents Pawsitive Entertainment with Jocelyn White and her pug, Walter Cronkite. Brought to you in part by Luke Crossland and the Crossland Group, and Arthur Benjamin and American Dog Rescue.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Jocelyn White, and this is my co-host, Walter Cronkite, Pug of Texas. And we just want to say thank you for joining us for this 6 weeks of a mini-series of Pawsitive Entertainment. We're already shooting for our fall shows of this year. Now, shooting for fall shows means we've got to have lots of ideas, and we do get great ones from people who stop me on the street. Let's be a little more organized than that. Why don't you go to our website at www.pawsitiventertainmenttv.com, or check out our Facebook page. You can leave a message there, Pawsitive Entertainment. And thanks again to Cruise Communications for pulling that Facebook page together so quickly for us. In full disclosure, James Bias, because James is our president of the SPCA of Texas, I have to acknowledge that I am the chairman of the board of the SPCA of Texas. And the reason why I'm mentioning that today is our hot topic is how is the SPCA different from other animal welfare groups, from other SPCAs, and from the biggie, the ASPCA, which we're always confused with somehow in people's minds around here. And the answer is?
Well, it's a question I get almost every day from friends and family and supporters. We're different from a standpoint of corporately, we're not connected with any national organization.
Right.
The national organizations are not corporately attached to any of the smaller groups. So each SPCA, each Humane Society is a standalone 501c3 charity. And so while we may do similar work, donations that go to the ASPCA stay with the ASPCA in Manhattan. They may give small grants across the country, but they're not connected to us in any corporate way.
Let me just put it this way. What goes to New York City stays in New York City. Now, that's fine if you want to support their work, but if you want to support ours, it needs to be made out, that check to the SPCA of Texas. We're also confused with, other groups in our missions and in all kinds of things. Would you like to address that?
So each board of directors dictates what the mission and purpose is. So in the case of the SPCA of Texas, we have many programs that impact the lives of people and their animals. Other organizations may focus on spay and neuter or education. On the nonprofit side, the government shelters usually have a mandate to protect people from animals. They have a public health and safety component. While they still have a welfare component for animals, the SPCA, I kind of put it this way, we protect animals from people and they tend to protect people from animals.
Got it. And let me put it this way, these little guys need our help. One of the programs at the SPCA of Texas that I love and have embraced from day one is the rescue and investigation. In our show, we call it Mission Possible, but those guys do such great work.
Well, we're very blessed. We have a dedicated team that helps get our message out, that you can call the SPCA of Texas or go online, spca.org, and report what you think might be a case of animal abuse. We also have great relationships with law enforcement who help to go after people who have abused animals. And then we have court systems now that recognize the link between people who abuse animals can also go down the line and abuse people as well. So we're, I think, a more enlightened community. I don't know if animal cruelty is on the rise, but I do think the opportunities to, speak on behalf of these animals in a court setting, we're kind of the CASA group for these animals. And they can't pick up the phone and dial 911 and say, rescue me. They need people like you to be able to call or send in an email and speak on behalf of these animals.
Well put. Cronkite, you feel the same way, don't you? My little guy is an SPCA of Texas alum and a rescue. In our pets and people today, I just thought we'd have a little fun and some folks who need no introduction. Fox Sports broadcaster and former Dallas Cowboy Daryl Johnston and his model wife Diane are just like us. they love their pets.
This is Gunner. Gunner's that perfect place right now. He's 6, 5 or 6, and he's real mellow. You know, he used to be like Tugger,
Who's one.
just one.
A puppy.
And still
Yeah.
learning.
So,
And still wanting to play with him all the time.
So what does he think about Tugger?
the jury was out early on, and
We were
yeah.
thinking, what did we do to poor Gunner? Because this one will not leave him alone. You know.
But when he was little, it was great. And then as he started to get bigger, and he's tried to assert his personality.
Who's going to be the alpha?
Exactly. And he really challenges me on being the alpha. So he's tough. And
wants to
he,
be
for a while, would kind of put up with it. And it's all right, you're just young. And then all of a sudden he got to the size and aggressive enough where he really had to kind of put his foot down and say, I was here first. I'm the alpha
Yeah,
in this
he
house.
stepped up.
What made you want to get a dog in the first place?
I had one growing up. Small dog for 17 years. And I remember the day he passed away. I was in college and got the phone call. I was going to get my dad one for Father's Day. And he told me, I know what you're thinking, right? You're going to get me a dog because we just lost Kojak. And he goes, I can't do it. I can't go through it again. It's too hard. So, and that has been the hardest part about having a dog, but it's like everything. I mean, the benefit that you get, the joy that they bring you while they're with your family.
Gunner has proven to be a bit of a superstar, along with the Johnstons' daughter, Evan. You see, Evan and Daryl use the Purina Pro Plan app, the P5 app, to teach Gunner here how to catch a Frisbee and to teach Daryl how to throw one. Gunner also learned about obstacle courses, and then the whole family went to a Super Bowl in New Orleans, where Gunner and Evan were fantastic. Will you ever not have a dog? You had the dogs before you had the children.
Our first dog was before children, like you said, and that was Otis, and he was our golden retriever, and he was our first baby, you know. We brought him everywhere and took him to everywhere we went, and he really was.
Everybody knew him.
Everybody knew him. Everybody knew Otis, and when we lost him, it was just devastating. But we had Otto by then, and I think we had the kids came along.
Kids came on. Otis was
Three.
by himself
Three
when
or
we
four.
started our family.
'Cause we were
Because we
married.
would bring the baby blanket home. When the baby comes home the first day, you want the dog to already be familiar with the scent. So we brought the baby blanket home for a couple of days and got him used to it and had him sleep with it. So when the baby came home, he had already had the scent and already knew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
he was
something
so
we never
sweet
would have
with the
thought
babies.
of.
He
So we
was-
got that from a good dog person.
Yeah.
He was sweet, and he would lay under their swing, and just kind of when they napped, and he was darling with the kids, and they don't know life without a pet.
Still ahead on Pawsitive Entertainment, horses that work like dogs, and a vet check that is more than a little catty. Pawsitive Entertainment continues. A lot of you probably know that eQuest uses equine therapy to help those who have autism, Down syndrome, even veterans suffering from PTSD. What you may not know is that the horses at eQuest really are the superstars, and as we like to say here, they just work like dogs.
We see children with cerebral palsy. We see children with spina bifida. We see adults with strokes, severe strokes. We see people with cognitive impairments. We see people with a combination of a movement impairment and a cognitive impairment. And yet the underlying surface is the same. You work better when you're in alignment. In the clinic with a child that's stiff and needs range of motion, I prepare the pelvis because the pelvis is the base of support for all movement patterns we have. The horse prepares the person for movement. Each one of our horses has a certain way that they move. We work very hard on pairing the horse, the movements that we're trying to free up in the pelvis or that we're trying to emphasize with this person. We try to pair the person with the horse.
When I found out that Jonathan was special need, I tried everything that it was out there, and I started with physical, occupational, and speech therapy since he was 6 months old. I wanted to give him the opportunity of trying new things. And I heard that EQuest, it was a different opportunity for him to be receiving physical therapy. So I decided to start investigating more, and it was the best thing I could have done for him. I had a lot of fear that it was gonna be with animals, especially, horses, and the fear as a mother overprotecting my kid, but he connect right away with the horses. They're so calm. It's amazing.
The horse, first of all, prepares the person for movement. Jonathan took to the horse. People were amazed. He sat up straight. He was able to go down and push up. On his first ride, it was just wonderful. So Jonathan did extremely well. I made a decision that I was going to have him dismount to the cement because the indoor arena is very difficult to walk on. And he walked probably 20 feet, and Jonathan was able to break a carrot in half, with help, put the carrot in the carrot feeder and feed the horse to thank the horse for this incredible time. I don't know if there was a dry eye in the place. What the child learns here, if it stays here, that's fine. But for the child to really move and grow and change, it has to go into the home.
And Jonathan is the most happiest kid when it's here. He loves the girls, he loves all the volunteers, he loves the horses, he loves the environment. He's just happy. It's not like an ordinary therapy. It's different, feeling the wind, feeling the horses, feeling the voices, feeling the good vibes of the people makes the difference.
Now, for people who have pets, you got to brag about them, you want to hear about them. Dr. Troy Cobb and I thought in Vet Check, it was time we turned a little attention to the feline contingent. It's quite catty, Dr. Cobb, I love cats. Don't have them, but love them. What's one of the biggest issues when it comes to cats?
Sadly, one of the biggest issues with cats is one of the issues that we can stop and control, and that's parasites. For example, fleas, everybody's aware of fleas.
Sure.
Roundworms and hookworms, which are intestinal parasites. But unfortunately in cats also cause lung and liver damage. And sadly enough, can also cause damage to humans. So they can cause intestinal problems, skin problems, blindness. So that's a huge concern. And then one thing that a lot of cat families don't think about is heartworms. 25% of all cats diagnosed with heartworms were indoor only. Heartworms, when cats get infected, can cause damage to the lungs that lasts forever. Looks like asthma. 10 to 20% of cats with heartworms die without any signs.
I don't think I've heard any commercials about cats and heartworm prevention.
And the rate of infection is fairly comparable. It's difficult in cats because there's not a great test. When cats get heartworms, the majority of the heartworms on their way to the heart die in the lungs, which causes a severe inflammatory reaction. And so there's not a good test for that. So the problem is not a good test, but chronic disease.
So what do you do?
So it's very easy. Once a month, you give your cat a topical medication, protects them from fleas, protects them from getting heartworms, deworms them from roundworms and hookworms. It's just a all the way roundabout great way to prevent disease. 80% of cat families that take their cat to the veterinarian do not have their cat on prevention. And it costs 5 times more to treat your cat for a disease that you can prevent with just a simple monthly parasite prevention.
And the little guy we've got today?
So little Miss Spanky, she's 15 years old. She was a rescue. She was found on railroad tracks, and she almost died from anemia due to fleas.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Another parasite.
another parasite. And you know, unfortunately, fleas also carry diseases for people like typhus, plague, cat scratch fever. She's been on prevention ever since I've had her.
You can catch a lot of these things too, the human factor, and that means your children as well.
Absolutely. Children are a big concern. Roundworms, which are easily preventable, can cause permanent blindness in children. And children are most at risk for parasites because they're not quite as hygienic as adults. And I would hate for a child to pick up a disease from a cat that had a parasite when we could have prevented that. It's really for the health of the whole family, not just the cat, but everybody in the household.
Still to come, more of Pawsitive Entertainment. Persian cats have such flat faces that they can't move their whiskers at all. Welcome back to the second half of Pawsitive Entertainment. I'm Jocelyn White, and this is my co-host, Walter Cronkite, Pug of Texas. And he and I have been chatting about the work of the SPCA of Texas when it comes to rescue and investigation. Art Munoz and his crew truly do the work of the angels, and they walk into some situations sometimes that you go, there couldn't possibly be a happy ending. And yet, more often than not, there is.
R&I covers 8 different counties. Anytime we receive a complaint of animal cruelty, it's dispatched to one of our investigators that cover one of those counties.
Art and his team recently received a call from Dallas County regarding cockfighting.
The most interesting thing I've learned and the most interesting thing that I've done for 11 years is work all dog fighting and cockfighting cases in Texas. And the most interesting thing that I found, all the counties in Texas, cities, sheriff's departments that I've worked with, everything always comes back to Dallas County.
Sadly, animal fighting is all too prevalent across the United States, despite the fact that it is a crime in all 50 states. While some may see animal fighting as something that happens in only out-of-the-way, hidden areas, it happens in cities as well as in rural areas. So far this year, the SPCA of Texas has seized more than 700 fighting birds and dogs in 4 different cases.
You know, we'll never stop animal cruelty, but I think what we have here at the SPCA, we are making a difference, and I think moving forward, our department's growing and we're actually really making a difference in each county we cover as far as animal cruelty goes.
The SPCA of Texas receives an average of 3,000 to 5,000 calls a year from people who have seen or know about cases of animal cruelty, including animal fighting. The SPCA of Texas's Rescue and Investigations Department makes a difference in the lives of thousands of animals each year. But without the sharp eyes and ears of people, they would not be able to do their amazing work. If you suspect animal cruelty, including animal fighting, please reach out to your local law enforcement agencies.
From when I started over 11 years ago to where I'm at today, I have seen a major change, and each county that I work in, especially Dallas County, we are not accepting animal cruelty, and you will pay the price for it.
You can learn more about how the SPCA of Texas's Rescue and Investigations Department helps the North Texas community by visiting spca.org.
Here at Pawsitive Entertainment, we like to celebrate the wonderful work being done by other shelters and other rescue groups. Today you're going to meet a couple of guys behind American Dog Rescue. One is Arthur Benjamin, and the other is of the 4-legged variety.
I got a call one day about this little Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso mix, about a 4-pound puppy, who couldn't walk, and they were asking American Dog Rescue to supply the cart that the dog would live in. And I said, let's take him to Texas A&M first and see if he can be rehabbed. He was originally named Scooter because he dragged his back end behind him until he was 12 weeks old. And he became Tiny Tim because through our therapy, he began to walk. And he was this darling, little Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso who I couldn't find a home for, even though he was so good looking and he could walk. And nobody adopted him, so we got stuck together. You know, there's a hotel that when you check in gives you a goldfish to put in your room so that there's something living with you. Staying in hotels is hard. Traveling to cities is hard. It's not hard when you have a little guy like this to take with you. Bandit has made such an amazing difference in my life. As I travel the country, there's always a companion by my side, always someone who's there with the insurmountable, unrelenting love of an animal for a human being. And he looks up to me in a way that I know I have to do things better and bigger so that other people see me the way he sees me, which is he knows who I am and he knows what I can do. I think it's obvious why rescuing dogs is good for dogs. They wind up in a loving home. They wind up with great surroundings and with a relationship with you. But in reality, dogs rarely rescue us. They're the unconditional love that's talked about in all religions. And having unconditional love around you changes the way you see the world and changes the way you do things in life. As I travel the country and I get into conversations with people about their dogs, the pictures come out and the stories come out about how their lives and their families' lives have been changed. Those stories need to be told, because the more people who know that dogs change people's lives, the more people will adopt dogs and make them part of their life.
For more information, all you need to do is go to AmericanDogRescue.org. And to replay a segment from today's show, go to PausitiveEntertainmentTV.com. Coming up after the break, Maura's Pet Paris is all about the most pet-friendly place a person could live. One of the things that Cronkite and I have loved about doing this show, right, Buddy, is all of the pet-friendly businesses that we have met and run across. We love that focus, if you will, and yet one of the biggest was right under our noses. Here in the Grand Parlor at Illume Park, we make our home. And it also happens to be one of the most pet-friendly places ever.
Jocelyn, you are so right. This is the perfect place for people and their pets. And between the incredible amenities from, the 2 dog parks, one with a bone-shaped pool, the on-site grooming, the masseuse, and if you can't be home to walk your dog, they'll do that for you too. This is the perfect pet palace for people and their pets to live in harmony.
When we realized that we were going to develop down here in the heart of the community, we wanted to make our product lifestyle focused. So we wanted to know what our members, our residents, wanted in their way of amenities. So we studied that real hard. And of course, dogs are a major part of the lifestyle that we appeal to.
What attracted me to the Illume was basically the amenity for pets and dogs, really. They have a lot of awesome services, from dog walking to the on-site dog parks, dog grooming. It was definitely what attracted me here.
It's about dogs. It's about being able to have your dog in a friendly environment, be able to take care of your dog, walk your dog, or have someone walk your dog for you, and then have the dog amenities to groom your dog in our spa. We have a dog pool fully filtered, and the dogs are inside a fenced play area that is canine turf, but it's made for hypoallergenic dogs, and it drains very well so it stays clean. Even a securitized dog walking area, so at night when you come home late, you can take your dog out and feel comfortable walking your dog in the environment on campus here.
And keeping things clean is a priority at Illume.
In order to protect our dogs and our members from dog feces, we have a poo print program. And poo prints are a great thing because when we send off our kit,
test your dog, get the DNA for the dog, and then if your dog messes up and you're unable to pick it up, then you have a fine.
Rad Wansky, international artist, not only displays his art at Illume, he is a resident.
You have to see the place and really judge for yourself how special it is. There's a lot of communities out there and there's a lot of building going on in the neighborhood. And one of the things that it's special for me, I really like the ability to have the freedom that we have in the Illume and so much of the elegance.
Elegant for sure. So how do we get started?
We take all breeds here. It just has to be the attitude of our resident dog, our new member. So he gets interviewed or she gets interviewed when you get interviewed.
What a dream come true for all the lucky dogs and cats who get to live the good life at the Illume.
Thanks, Maura, and thanks, Illume Park, and thanks to all of you. Cronkite and I have had a lot of fun this 6 weeks of our soft opening for our new show, and we are already filming for fall 2015. In fact, we need story ideas. So go to our website at www.positiveentertainmenttv.com or check out our Facebook page. You can leave ideas there, Pawsitive Entertainment. And in the meantime, have a wonderful summer. And what do we like to say, Cronkite? Yeah. Think positive, everybody. See you next fall. You're a good boy. You did a good job. Yes, you did.
They know when you're not feeling well.
They know.
It's funny. Or they know when something's
really
bothering
are
you.
sensitive
You're like
animals.
you're sitting at the computer and you're going through everything, and all of a sudden it's like plop right on your feet. You're like,
And labs are so loving and so incredibly loyal.
They say they're the best family dogs.
Yeah. I like Goldens and labs. They're amazing.
Pawsitive Entertainment has been brought to you in part by SPCA of Texas, the Crossland Group, and American Dog Rescue. Special thanks to Illume Park, Dish, and Cafe Pacific. Jocelyn's wardrobe provided by Tootsie's. Hair by Casey at De Novo Salon. Cronkite's neckwear by teacup2docharm.com.